Assalamu alaikum. Labis. I pray everyone is doing well. This month is the month of forgiveness, Ramadan. I pray Allah accepts your charity, fast, zakat, and your acts of worship. I had a little bit of technical difficulty again. You know, they say that if something isn't broke, don't try to fix it. And for some reason, I tried to be fancy yesterday and try to change the settings in my camera. And as soon as I was ready to go live, right on time at 11:30, it's I noticed that the whole color scheme of the camera was completely different from what I expected. I was like, oh my God. So I had to change it because what it did, it made the scene look dark, and I wanted it light, just like I have it, versus kind of like a dim light. So I had to change that. So I'm not on time. But anyways, it's not like nobody's in here, so I'm just doing the video live. Okay. So let's see. I'm proud of myself for making tearaway early this week a few times. So this was nice to go for Isha prayer and do tearaway service prayer during the night. So it's a great thing. So I'm glad that I was able to, being that I was so busy. Mashallah. I appreciate all my new subscribers, those that have watched my videos. So the topic for today, I wanted to talk about gold diggers. But before I get into that, I wanted to say shout out to those that are in India and Bangladesh, my subscribers that have been supporting me from there. And it's funny because I wonder if you all noticed from India, the thumbnail that I put on the screen, it kind of resembles Palki Sharma, the news reporter. So I thought that was funny because even I had to look back at it. I was like, oh my God, this looks like a younger Palki Sharma at first glance when you're looking at it. I thought that was funny. Okay, so I mentioned sometime last week in my video that I noticed that, I keep seeing these, like I just got back on Facebook and because I stepped out from social media and then I came back. Well, I've noticed that I keep getting these videos pop up for gold digger videos, and how it is, you usually see a guy and he's standing up, or he sees a nice looking woman and then he walks up kind of like behind her most of the time. Not so much not so much are they face to face, and it's more like it's almost like they're shooting these scenes by like an apartment building or something, or not some place to where there's a lot of people out in public. So I'm seeing these videos where these guys approach these women to ask them out, right, for their phone number. Well, if the woman says no, it's like they walk back to their car, and usually it's some type of luxury, fancy car or so. And the guys go to their car, and then about a good 90 to 100% of the time, the women always walk back. Even if she says she has a boyfriend or she's not interested. And then you do see some women, they do tend to say they're interested or they don't mind going out. So I look at that as saying that, okay, maybe if you try to approach the woman, first of all, I think the scene of it where you're coming up behind somebody and then tapping them, I think that's kind of going to mess you up if you're trying to say you're going to approach a woman to ask her for a phone number. But I mean, that's just my opinion, because I'm always thinking about the scene. Is the scene safe? And you don't want to startle a woman or make the woman think that that you're trying to do something crazy. So I noticed that with the videos that, so if a woman, I would say that if a woman is attracted to you, she will speak to you. She will speak to you. She will talk to you. But I will say this: what I've noticed from being Muslim, I've noticed that when it comes to Muslim women, it's either they're going to look at the ground, or they're going to be more respectful to the significant other and not show you any attention or so when you walk in passing. Because for men and women, as far as Muslim, you're supposed to look at the ground, right? Because they try to say that they don't want you to be looking or gazing at one another. But we know that most, I guess that's the traditional way of doing things. But most people, I mean, seeing each other out and about. So it's not like Muslim parents, get to see what their kids are doing and, try to watch out for them to whoever they see, in the public. So it's like, so I was just thinking about stuff like that. But so these are the videos as far as the gold digger videos. But I wanted to start with asking a question, what is a gold digger? And the definition says typically a woman who engages in a transactional relationship for money, then love. If it turns into marriage, it's more out of convenience. And that's the definition of gold digger, right? But I thought about this and I said, well, it's not that women are gold diggers. Let's see. It's not that women are gold diggers, because, if you're a Christian or a Muslim, you will know that the Bible or the Quran teaches you to be providers, provider males, caring and protecting your woman, right? So, kind of getting my words put up here. Hold on one second. Okay, so just like I mentioned, that this thing about gold diggers and men are worried if the women are there to take a man's money. Well, I would argue that we see that some men are in relationships to where they're in relationships, marriage, to where the women don't reciprocate anything in return. So it's not like she's showing the man any love, care, affection. And she's probably more than often disrespected him on many occasions. Not only that, I'm pretty sure many have heard of men in the U.S. I'm in the U.S., so I'm using the U.S., but many men in the U.S. have gone through divorce where they think that, or not think, but have said that most of the women have at least got most of their wealth, right? Because of, I guess, the laws in the United States. But it's not just that, it's other countries like London is supposed to be like London, UK is supposed to be like the divorce capital of the world. So the laws aren't favorable for men there. But you would call those same women a gold digger that you've been married for, like for some men, they've been married for years to these women. And then when the women try to get everything, they'll call them a gold digger. But just like I said, it's like, well, who are we going to call the gold diggers? You know, my thing is what I would like for men to not use the term gold digger, because you have to understand that women are, well, let me just continue to go thing, then I'll go and take. So, okay. So speaking of, and we'll get into like, since I just mentioned divorce. In Islam, uh, the man has a responsibility to provide financial support during the waiting period after divorce, but the obligation ceases after, right? So he still has to take care of the woman during the waiting period after divorce, and then it ceased. But just like I said, it's like, okay, well, you some men are calling women gold diggers, but a man providing and protecting and caring for his woman and supporting her keeps the woman in a feminine energy, keeping her in her feminine essence, right? And we also have to understand that women are hypergamous. They want someone on their social class, economic well-being, and education. Some of the women in these gold digger videos on Facebook, the ones that have boyfriends or so, I would say if they still chose to jump in the car with these gentlemen, once they see the gentleman go to their car after she rejected him and told him she's not interested or she's got somebody, but then eventually she see him getting in this $200,000 or $300,000 car, next thing you know, they're running over to the car. Aren't loyal, because loyalty is what someone does when you're not around them. So just like if I had a woman, right? Well, you have women, but let's say I had a woman. It's funny. So if I go and I'm somewhere and my woman is somewhere, and to see if she's loyal is to see what she does. But what does she do around men behind my back? So that's loyalty. Vice versa, same thing for women, because women always look for loyalty. But I could see that in a sense. But when it comes to women, it's not in a man's nature to just be one woman. I think when women says loyalty and they think it's trying to have control in the relationship somewhere. But of course, I'm just talking about being broad to where you see most women in Latin America and North America talk about this. But when you get in Asia and the Middle Eastern regions, and maybe someplace in Europe, women don't care about, or Africa, women don't care if the man has multiple wives or so. But that's a topic for another day. We talk about loyalty. Same thing goes to where, do you think some of these athletes and musicians and actors would have the woman that they have on their arm if they didn't have the money? That's another thing, because when you see some of these men, they could be tall, short, whatever, if they got money, these women, they still dealing with these guys. You can get a man that's like, we could take Bill Belichick, the NFL football player, to where, they keep putting him, I think during the Super Bowl. I don't watch sports like that. So they keep showing him, on TV, and it's like, okay, he looked like he's 60 something, close to 70 years old, and his girlfriend looked like she's in her early 20s or something. We know what that's about. He know what that's about, right? So at the end of the day, we got to be mindful how we use this term. I remember a couple of years ago, now I'm telling on myself, a couple of years ago, I dated this young lady, and maybe 3 years ago or so. She's still sweet. She's sweet. So when I first met her, it's like she's asking how much money you make, how much this, how much that, and what do you do, and blah blah blah. I'm like, God dang. But this is generally a question that women tend to ask because they want to know how much you make and what you do for a living, to where they get an idea of you providing for them. So this woman, she would ask me for 2,000 euros, 3,000, 5,000 euros, 7,000. Dang. And sometimes I gave it to her, and sometimes I told her no. But I would say, even if I gave her that money, I thought I was doing something out of the kindness of my heart. I didn't think to where, oh, she's a user, or she's a gold digger, or whatever. I said, well, if I'm interested in her, and this woman, she's a model, and if we go out, she liked, what is that? Dior. She liked what is that? What is that thing? Louis Vuitton. She liked Louis Vuitton. She liked Dior. And when we would meet up, it was like a Muslim woman. And when we met up or whatever, what did she would do? Sometimes she would be in athletic gear, and I pull up in a suit, and she was like, please don't put on a suit when we go out later, or blah blah blah, because it's like, uh, she always thought I was always dressed up too nice. But then, not just that, even with me, calling myself to give her this money and whatever, I was just like, if she said she had bills to pay or missed her rent or whatever, it's like, okay, I want to date this woman, so let me just make sure she's in, good health, and that's why I did it. I wasn't thinking, oh, she's a gold digger, she just wants me for my money, because with my mindset, I always think like this. Me doing something, being kind, regardless of someone maybe getting over on me, because I'm not going to be naive about it, God will bless me 10 times more. So that's the mindset I would like for more of us, especially of you over here on my channel, in my community. I want us to work towards having healthy, functional relationships. And that's what I would like to basically promote on this channel. So same thing like with this young woman, I could compare and contrast her to other women. I could meet a woman that, let's say I date a woman, another different woman, and let's say she's interested in everything or whatever, but then what if she's got me spending 2,000, 4,000, 5,000 or whatever, or every time we go out to eat, it's $200 or $300 a meal? Because I'll tell you, some girls that I've been out with that are interested, same thing like a doctor. I remember, she should be a doctor now, but this girl who's in med school, I was dating her. When we went out to eat, she wanted, there was two appetizers, an entree, maybe a dessert, and then she wanted to drink. And I'm like, but now it's like, usually when I go, because this was years ago, I don't drink and I don't smoke, and when I'm out, I don't prefer any woman with me that's out with me to drink. So, but then of course, most Muslim women don't drink, so it's like they'll try to still copy these women, but they see them doing things on social media, so they'll want, oh, can I have a mocktail, or is non-alcoholic? Can I have it? And I'm like, whatever, But just like I said, I could take a woman that may appear like she don't want my money, but she still got me spending a lot of money throughout the relationship. Now, I could take the model that I was dating, and she might ask me for something here and there, but it wasn't like all the time, right? Because I thought she was being serious. So she said, oh, she needed to pay her rent or she needs something, right? Fine. But when we go out to eat, she's eating a salad. She's, it'll be funny. I'm like, okay, we eat off the menu. Oh, I'm going to eat a salad. I'm like, dang. And I remember one time I met with her, and she and she don't eat meat, so it's like cheap date. But then it was like, okay, going out to eat, she's eating some type of sweet peas and corn and salad and stuff. I'm like, dang. And then late night, you think, okay, what is Bill gonna be? I wonder where we going, because she like fancy things. She eating eggs. Go figure. So that's why I say it's like, we can't just be using this term loosely. Say, oh, it's a gold digger. It's like you need to provide and take care of your women, especially if you got interest in her. But I get it. Some men think women are free. In Islamic culture, men are expected to pay all the bills, just like I mentioned, and the woman gets to rest in her femininity. So if you have a woman and you live together, and all of a sudden she has to pay most of the bills, and you're putting that woman in her masculine energy. Both we men and women, we both have the feminine, masculine energy. But just like I said, you want your woman to be more feminine. So you're not going to want her to take on this masculine role of paying all the bills, and she has to take care of the children possibly. And I don't think that'd be good for the relationship, especially if she starts paying most of the bills. She'll start resenting you a little bit. Just like for me, example, I see some women online that, today, more women are getting an education. They're enrolled in college, at higher rates than men. They are trying to excel in a lot of good fields like real estate. A lot of them are investing in the stock market, and women dominate administrative fields. They dominate healthcare fields. Most of them are going to school to get their doctorate degrees, and they're just trying to excel more than men these days. But me at the same time, hopefully if I ever, hopefully not, hopefully I'm done, and I wouldn't select a woman that is going to be to come off a little masculine. Like if she can go to work in those different professions, hopefully when she get home, she could still be a woman, right? But at the same time, just like I said, I would prefer a feminine woman versus one of the boss babe. You see this on Facebook to where in a profile picture, as soon as they do this and take them photos like this, I'm like, ugh, it just drains me. I feel empty. Like, such a turn off. I know some of them probably wouldn't like me saying that, but it's just what it is. So, we want women that are feminine, a woman that listens, one that submits, she cooks, cleans, and she can teach our children. This is what we want, inshallah. But I would say some of these men that come off with just blatantly calling women a gold digger, you have to think about all the upkeep that a woman has to do to keep up with her self-care. A woman, just like I just mentioned, you have women going in these healthcare fields, administrative fields, so in realtors and stuff. So those women are able to try to become successful, but in the U.S., and I'll just do this because I know this number, only 11% of people in the U.S. make over six figures, right? So it's only 11% of people make six figures. That doesn't account for if the person is married, their sexual orientation, and what, like, if you were to date that person, like your preference. Is that person 6 feet tall? Is this person white? Is this person black? Is it he or she Hispanic? So it's not taking into account for those things. But this is why I always say people need to stay off social media and but even if you want to be mindful of what you're watching. Just like for me, I'm seeing these videos, but what I started doing, the ones that come off a little bit, I don't know, I don't like it, I just block it, or just I start deleting some because I didn't like some of the language. So just, being mindful what I watch. But think about all the upkeep that a woman has to do to keep her body clean. And not just that, that most women make less money than men. And not to say that, it's inequality. No, it's not inequality. We're equal. Well, in most countries, we're equal. And I'm just using the U.S. We're equal. It's just that women choose less. I don't want to use the word skill. I forgot the term, but it's like they'll choose jobs in like the hard skilled labor, like engineers and things like that. Like you probably got a few going in that field, but like for infrastructure, not so much, right? Small percentage. But think about things that women have to do to take care of their body. Unlike men, most women are, I would say a good portion of women, almost all, they'll take multiple showers throughout the day. Men, some men walk around like they didn't take a shower in a week. They're washing, conditioning their hair, they're shaving unwanted hair, waxing hair. Women have to purchase sanitary products. They have to, the pads, the tampons, the menstrual cups. Then they have to change these things out and manage the care of these things to manage good hygiene. Women have to have health checkups. So they have to routinely go for reproductive health checkups, cancer screenings, mammograms, pap smears. Then you also want the women to look fit and healthy. Now I'm gonna go over that next week because, like yesterday, I said something. I don't know. I was trying to be nice, and somebody put up something yesterday, steak and eggs, and saying it's a healthy meal. And I said something to this young lady, comment on it behind me, and started asking me questions. And I guess she got upset. But we're going to talk about this weight thing the next time I come out. I don't know if I'll do another broadcast next week, but inshallah, maybe I'll do one. But we'll see how it goes. But me personally, I would want my woman fit, of course, to eat healthy. So of course, it's like I need to be able, if I want that, I'm not going to. Well, you said we are what we attract. So hopefully I attract somebody that cares about their fitness and health. I'm not going to force nobody. Hopefully I'll find somebody or have someone that does that, that cares about their body in their health. But just like I would say, I would encourage the person. I would, if I had to, I would pay for that for my woman, because I want her to be in a healthy mind. So if she had to speak to a therapist, or if she had to work out, whatever it is, I would pay to do that for my woman. Soon as I just keep saying women, women. I don't know if y'all ever heard the Omale song. He's an African singer from I think he's from Nigeria, I think. And he said, "Everything I do is for my woman, woman." Yeah, I like that song. Everything I do is for my woman. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, so just like I said, I want men over on this community to not speak negatively about women, in a sense to call them gold diggers. I want you men to think with the mindset that you're doing something to help someone that may be in need, and regardless of the outcome, God will bless you. And I want more men to be discerning when it comes to relationships, because we as men, we fall in love quicker than women, because during the courting of getting a woman number and taking her out, doing everything, right, to try to make them happy. And some women don't understand this and some don't care, right? But for us men, I think for us to do our due diligence in making sure that we meet these criteria, especially in Islam, we meet these criteria to say, okay, we make sure that we choose a woman that is pious, religious, making sure that she's intelligent, making sure that she is beautiful, of course. And I just thought about something when I say, of course, if you go to Turkey, people say, what do you say? If you have somebody in Turkey, somebody say, "Hey, is this does this include so and so?" Yes, of course. Yes, of course. Yes, of course. They always say that. You can go to Turkey and just like you just ask them something and say, "Hey, if I end up getting this and this, what about if I did this?" Yes, of course. It's funny. But shout out to my people in Turkey, because they watch my channel too, a few of them, and it's been pretty good. I'm looking at the analytics, and I appreciate everyone that has been watching my videos and supporting me from all these countries, from Africa, Asia. And when I say Asia, I'm talking about the Middle East too. I'm not just talking about just saying, not just because I don't want to include Middle East, I'm actually saying Asia because that's what it is, right? So in Asia, India, all that, Europe. So I appreciate the people watching my channel. And most of this, what I'm trying to say is, it's better to, yes, you can go after these women that want you to spend money, and it seems like a woman that may just want you for your money, right? But I don't know. I've seen in my situation, I know I'm talking about mine, it's anecdotal, but maybe you might have raised a woman attraction. Maybe she see you're not attractive, so she's like, she wants you to possibly maybe there's something in other areas that you could get her attracted to you. But just like I said, it's also good for us to choose women that choose us. Especially if you're a busy, productive man and working. It's like you don't want to have women to where you're constantly chasing, because those women, it's almost like they won't respect you as much. And then not only will they not respect you, it's almost like they bore you and probably resent you a little bit. So it's better not to chase them. You can chase for a little while, but then after that, it's like, and women are weird like that, to where they don't really want men that are going to chase after. Now, some women like that, but I think that's I don't know. Everybody's different, but I would say most women, for the majority, they don't want a man to just keep coming after them and chasing them. And some people have done it and been successful with it, but that's them. So I hope I touched on everything. Talking about these gold digger videos, and that we need to not use this term, because all women want your money. You've heard some older women don't like it if they hear, you've seen videos online to where older women might say, if a 40-something, 50-year-old man got a 23, 24-year-old girlfriend, what do you want with that young girl, and blah, 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 blah. But they'll say, oh, she just want him for his money. You want him for his money too. So it's like all women want provided males, And I would say for most of us men, if you want a nice looking, attractive woman, of course you're going to have to work, and she's going to look for, well, I don't know about y'all, but for me, I'm mostly wanting to have a woman that, just like I said, is feminine. And even just like I said, in Muslim culture, Islam, women are looking for provider, protector males, and I like that far better than saying, oh, I'm going to not be generous or tight-fisted, and I don't want to do anything for my women, or just stingy, So that's what I wanted to talk about. I know my video was a little bit choppy back and forth, and me trying to explain this in a good flow. But eventually, hopefully, those that will watch this video would gain some value out of it that I've left. But I want to thank my subscribers again. Thank you to the new subscribers. What I have to do? So we have a Patreon. Let's see. If anybody wants to donate, and let's see. I'll show my Cash App, PayPal, and this is the Patreon that I want to start, to where I want us to be able to come together. Maybe I can go live not maybe, we'll try to go live a few times out the month. If anyone is interested, we can talk more about that. I've discussed it a few times about the Patreon, as far as like me doing live videos, me answering any questions that people may have. during the live sessions, question and answers, me offering some financial, it's not tips. What I would want to do is get some of the people that I invest with to, if you would want to invest and become partners, or if you want to learn more about real estate, if you want to sit down with CPA and go over some of the tax benefits, we do stuff like that. Maybe if you pay for one of the top tier memberships, I want to create something to where we go to another country other than the US, and we not only donate to a charity, but we go to another country, we fellowship, and we have a good time, and we network. So that's another thing that I want to do with this community. Let's see if there's anything that I missed. So we got the Patreon, got PayPal, Cash App if anybody wants to donate. Okay, I think that's it. So, thank you all for watching. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.